You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?
Hello, my fellow Marvel enthusiasts. I just finished watching Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. The third chapter of the Ant-Man trilogy sees Scott Lang embracing his newfound peace after saving the world and writing a book. But he soon finds himself feeling disconnected from his teenage daughter, Cassie. Just when things couldn't get more complicated, he gets sucked into the quantum realm to meet the infamous Kang the Conqueror. I won't give away any spoilers, but let's just say that this movie is a must-watch. Make sure to subscribe for our upcoming spoiler discussion videos where we'll dive deeper into those mind-blowing post-credit scenes. Who doesn't love Paul Rudd as the pint-sized superhero Ant-Man? I personally think that the first Ant-Man movie is one of the most underrated origin stories in the MCU. Maybe it's because you can still feel Edgar Wright's influence on the film, but regardless, director Peyton Reed did an incredible job bringing the world of Ant-Man to life. However, the third movie had a major game-changing moment. Thanks to director Peyton Reed's ambitious vision and Kevin Feige's gift of Kang the Conqueror as the new big bad. It's exciting to think that Kong could be the villain in an upcoming Avengers film, and his presence alone makes Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania an enjoyable watch. That being said, there were a few plot holes that needed addressing. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania takes audiences on a thrilling and wacky journey through the quantum realm. This exploration of the microscopic world is a standout feature of the film, with an entire universe of creatures, planets, and unique ways of life waiting to be discovered. Some early reviews have compared the quantum realm to the world of Star Wars, and it's easy to see why. The realm is filled with creatures and organisms that are both alien and familiar, inspired by microbiology, but given a fantastical twist. The buildings and machinery are unlike anything we've seen before, and the whole experience is just so much fun. While some might find the quantum realm a little too out there, I personally thought it was a highlight of the movie. The father-daughter dynamic between Paul Rudd's character and Cassie Lang was a highlight for me. In the movie, we see Cassie trying to follow in her father's footsteps and fight for what's right. She even goes to jail because of her activism. At first, I was worried that this storyline might feel forced, but the way it was executed in the film was great. Cassie's frustration with her father for not doing enough after the events of Endgame was relatable and added a layer of emotional depth to the story. I enjoyed watching their relationship evolve throughout the film. However, there were some missteps with her character that didn't quite work. But I'll get into that in my negatives later. The visual effects in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania are a mixed bag, according to the reviewer. While some scenes look great, others fall short, especially in the early moments of the film. The use of sound stages and LED technology in front of screens can be distracting, making it obvious to the viewer that the characters are not really in the environment they appear to be. This approach is similar to the one used in Spy Kids 3D, which some critics panned. However, as the film progresses, the visual effects improve, and there are some impressive moments that viewers will appreciate. Let's talk about Jonathan Majors' performance as Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. The hype is real, and for a good reason. He absolutely crushes it as the villainous time traveler and steals the show from the moment he appears on the screen. For those of you who were still on the fence about his ability to become the next Thanos, let me tell you, you're in for a surprise. Major's Kang is menacing, and he portrays the character in a way that sets him apart from his portrayal in Loki. He's more soft-spoken, but you still feel the threat and the presence of his power. What's impressive about his performance is how well it's balanced. One of the biggest complaints about Marvel movies is that they struggle to balance the serious moments with the funny ones. Fortunately, this isn't the case with Kong. There are no jokes to undermine his scenes, and even when Paul Rudd's character is quipping, it doesn't detract from the intensity of the moment. Kong is serious and driven to achieve his goals, and that's why the balance between humor and drama in the movie is remarkable. Unlike Thor, Love and Thunder, where the jokes took over and there was no room for seriousness. Let's talk about some mixed feelings about the movie. While there were definitely some great things about it, One of the biggest drawbacks is that it doesn't feel like a proper Ant-Man movie. Instead, it's more like a setup for the next big story, which is Avengers Kang Dynasty. Sure, it's important to introduce Kang to the audience, but for a third film in an Ant-Man trilogy, it feels like they missed the mark. The exposition and dumping of information can get overwhelming at times, and there are many little things that are being set up for future movies. This is a common problem with Marvel movies, where they're always setting up the next big thing instead of focusing on the current story. Scott's fatherly protectiveness over Cassie, his daughter, is endearing, and the scenes where he teaches her some of the ropes of crime fighting are memorable. Despite this, the film doesn't quite close off its arcs. Scott's conflict with Cassie over her desire to enter the dangerous world of crime fighting never really resolves. We're left wondering whether he's okay with it or not, and whether his daughter will be allowed to continue her heroics. Hope, Hank, and Janet are also sidelined, with Hope in particular feeling underutilized. One of the highlights of the film is MODOK, a villain whose design is weird and wild and captures the comic book character perfectly. The visual effects on him are impressive, especially when he's chasing after the heroes with his weapons out. Unfortunately, the humor in the film undermines the villain's seriousness, and he's ultimately reduced to a punchline. The exaggerated MCU humor, which can be hit or miss, pops up here and feels out of place. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania may not wrap up character arcs or provide a lot of character development, but it still offers a wacky, enjoyable time. Despite its flaws, the film's sillier moments are balanced out by the threat of Kang, an exciting villain who leaves viewers wanting more. While it may not be the greatest start to Phase 5, it certainly isn't a bad start either. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is a wild ride that is worth catching in theaters. While some might leave feeling underwhelmed, I personally had a good time watching it. If you're looking for a fun, entertaining movie, this one is definitely worth a watch. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Additionally, stay tuned for my spoiler review, which includes the post-credit scene. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons to support my channel. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.